Hello everyone, welcome back to DigiFox Labs. I'm Mr. Fox. Today we're going to talk about 3 stocks. Yes, I know we're usually a cryptocurrency blockchain channel, but this is a channel primarily focused on helping you and giving you the opportunity to be educated and making decisions that would help you financially. Now, none of this is financial advice. We're not financial advisors. Everything said here is 100% our opinion. 3 stocks. We highly recommend you look at these today, tomorrow, this week, because some of them may actually move this coming week. Again, we don't know exactly when, but you know, it is a market, and the stock market moves a little bit slower than cryptocurrency, primarily because it does not close in the crypto market, whereas the stock market does. So what stocks are going on about? Based off of things going on in the world, as we all know, there are some things that are, let's just say, difficult to acquire. And one of those things is wheat. Now, before we actually get into the chart, we're going to go ahead and go on the foundation, go on the backstory of why we feel wheat is imperative to take a stand on in the stock market. So let's go ahead and go over here. The biggest wheat producer are China, India, and Russia. What is not shown here is Ukraine. Ukraine and Russia both have a massive market share on the global supply of wheat. So with that being said, you can honestly say that there is going to be a squeeze on wheat production. Let's go ahead and go into the next article. Now, this is just your simple Google search. The other search is this. Scroll further down. Is Ukraine a major wheat producer? Let's go ahead and see what Google has to say. Ukraine and Russia account for 1/3 of global wheat and barley exports. Read that right there. Which countries in the Middle East, Asia, and Africa rely on to feed millions of people? The Middle East, Asia, and Africa. And they do so by subsidizing bread and bargain noodles. Now, let's go back to the chart, okay? Here we have ticker symbol WEAT. It is the Turacrium Wheat Fund ETB. Now, it is currently trading at what is it, $10.28. The market is currently open at time of filming. Let's go ahead and zoom in a little bit, and we'll show you exactly why now might be a jolly good time to take a position. As you can see here, the wave and the trend is your friend until it is not, right? We had a golden cross way back here in October. And then now all of a sudden it's starting to what looks like go on a trajectory that is quite exponential. Now we want to say that we have taken a position, numerous positions on this, in the call options as well as the put options, as well as holding the actual asset without options, so the stock itself. Why do we put puts? Well, because it actually had a dump here recently because it ran up quite significantly. And then it finally found a base. Now, this is what we're looking at right here, okay? Let's go ahead and draw you some lines. And we see here that it is forming what looks like a flag. So here is your base, right? And then this goes so like this, right? Now, this is what we're seeing. And this is on the daily. So let's go ahead and zoom in a little bit more, right? Let's go back. And so that is a damn good bull flag. Now, it is probably going to come down here a little bit further. It may come back down and test around this region. At which point, once it tests that region, we foresee it to go up, such as so, that way. Why is this so? Well, based off of simple charts and trading analysis, that is a typical pattern of a bullish flag, okay? Where can we see this going exactly? And where are we going to take profits? Well, let's go ahead and show you that. Let's see if we can find the correct tool to use. Let's see here. Price range. Right, so we're going to go like here. So what you do to measure, you measure from the top here. And this is going to be conservative, sort of. And you can measure right there, okay? That is roughly the trend, right? That is the measurement that we're going to use. But upon breakout, it will be breaking out roughly right around, maybe somewhere around here, right? And so what do you see here if this pans out? Well, you're going to see a double top, right? If it happens the way we predict it's going to, here's going to be your one top, and here's going to be your second top. Now, what you're looking to do is capture this whole movement right there. So that is what we're looking for. Now, after this, We foresee it going on a trajectory going further up. So we see this roughly matching and potentially breaking and going into the $13 region, at which point we highly recommend you take some profits. So that is quite the significant amount of change. That is roughly what is that? 21% from now. If you were to purchase it currently at today's date, which is April 6th, and the market is still open. So hopefully we can publish this out before the market closes. If not, put in an order for closing hours or pre-market hours and ride that wave up. Now, it is potential that it is going to come down and retest this line here. Let's go ahead and get this out of the way. Okay, let's get this out of the way here. But the narrative is strong regardless, no matter how you look at it. This isn't working out too well, is it? There we go. Now, the narrative is strong for wheat, right? So this is something that you want to hold out for potentially a year. And why this one will, I believe it gives you dividends. I believe it's giving you, let's see here. Let me look it up. I have this on my phone. So do bear with me here on the dividends here. You can probably hear my phone clicking about. Wheat. Let's see here. Where's it at? Okay. Now, they do have 5 holdings in wheat. So that needs to be said. Unfortunately, it looks like I am incorrect. They do not have dividends. It's not looking like that, unfortunately. Now, that's very unfortunate. So that just means to us that it's not a hold for, like, you know, retirement account, but it is a hold during this whole war that is going on, and potentially whenever if the war does escalate some, right? And we see here we have a big buy signal on our chart right there. There you go, our knockoff market cipher. And so right now is a damn good time to get in because you have potential to make 20%. If you do call options, you have a chance to make even more. So that is wheat. We gave you the investment advice. Again, we are not financial advisors, but we also gave you the specific narrative as to why we are going in wheat. Now here is soy. Why are we interested in soy? Well, with everything going on, it could be the alternative to wheat. So here we have the biggest producer is Brazil as of May. But what needs to be said, which is interesting, is that the United States has officially passed, that's the wrong article, the United States has passed Brazil because of the demand was not met in Brazil. So these numbers that you see right here are incorrect because it was in 2020. Because of everything that happened with the pandemic, the shift, Brazil is no longer number one. It is the United States. And the United States is providing Brazil with the wheat. I'm sorry, with the soybean. And so let's go ahead and look at soybean now. Now, we currently have a put and we currently have call options on standby. But what's interesting to note is that this is going to be a longer term play here. And it looks like we still have plenty of room to grow. Now, it looks like it's dying out, okay? And the level of, let's see, where it may bounce off of is going to be right here, which it looks like it already has. Let's go ahead and zoom in even further. And it bounced right off that line, more or less. We could have brought it down a little bit more. But there's, as you see, there's massive amounts of gappage. Look at all these gaps. Every single day, it moves roughly $1 to $2. $1 to $2. Let's see here. At the very bottom, in that day before it actually bounced, it moved roughly about 80 cents. So, and we see now it's on a downtrend yet again. Where do we see this going? Well, we don't know yet because it still has to play out. We did put a put on this, and we are waiting to see if it actually does play out. We do believe it may be forming a double bottom in some degree, such as right here. We see one potentially right there. If it does it again, it'll come right down here. Now, what could inevitably happen is there's a gap down here, roughly a very small one that it very well may come down. Okay, it very well may come down, come like this, and start doing this and bouncing. At which point it may form a bull flag because of the specific narrative, because of everything that's going on with wheat, because of just how things are panning out. It is currently on a buy signal right now, so we could be absolutely wrong, okay? But it does have a golden cross, and we see that inevitably that wheat be doing something similar like this, okay? But what you need to look out for is the potential of more downside to come. So this is something you need to keep on your radar and have a good close eye on it. Watch it every single day or maybe every other day. Definitely, if you are not adverse in trading, maybe look at it once a week. Okay, pick the weekend probably would be your best bet and look out for news. But soy is something that you need to be looking at. Now, the other thing we need to be looking at is the whole infrastructure of what's going on in Eastern Europe, right? We talked about wheat, we talked about soy. Those are the foods needed specifically in times of war. Now, speaking of war, according to the Wall Street Journal, we have Lockheed Martin, Raytheon to help Australia build missiles to counter China. Australia will also spend $2.6 billion for the accelerated acquisition of sea mines and new missiles for its Air Force and Navy. So how can you have some sort of opportunity for this? Well, DFEN. It is a 3x bull shares derivative. Not even an ETF, but it's a direction daily airspace and defense. In this bundle of joy of defensive companies are Lockheed Martin and Raytheon. Now, as far as the holdings go, I don't have the information on right now. But what is good to know is that, yes, it is going up. Yes, because of the war that's going on, it has seen some positive growth. But looking right here, this is a rising wedge, and these are very bearish. Now, we do see that potentially it will be coming down to roughly this region right here, as there is a lot of buy orders in that region. If it does, then that could be your time to start accumulating and dollar cost averaging in. There is a possibility that it comes down to this level right about here, which is $16. If it does and it holds $16, that would be a great place to get in and not look back. They do offer dividends, I do believe. Could be mistaken. So this is definitely going to be a long-term play. Now, if we go ahead and scroll further back, we can see here on the bigger macro page, right, that there is still plenty of room to grow up to its all-time high. Do we feel it's going to get to its all-time high? Based off of things such as this right here from the Wall Street Journal, we have reason to believe it very well may try and approach it. Where do we see this going? Well, let's go ahead and get our fibs out, okay? And let's just go ahead and get rid of some of this right here, okay? Get rid of that line, get rid of that line. And we're going to do a simple Fibonacci retracement from here to here, okay? Quite conservative. And this is a macro level, maybe mid macro. But we see this potentially going to $32. It is currently $21. Now, this is no cryptocurrency. You will not be getting the immediate gains of 1, 2, 3, 10x's, right? Not at all. This is something to literally strategically do and do so in a timely, educated, knowledgeable fashion. Practice. Because when you go to the crypto market, everything moves fast and it never closes. At which point, our target is $30, $31 of profit. We do not want to risk all the way to $32 or even $31.9. Why is that? Well, we could actually be front run. Now, that is common in crypto space, but if you pretend this is a cryptocurrency and you take your risk very seriously and you are a little bit wary of profit taking, then why not use that skills that you have of crypto trading and transfer to the stock market, and you will be so successful. Absolutely, positively successful. What is key to note here is, let's go ahead and get rid of this fib, shall we? Let's go ahead and get rid of that fib. What is key to note here is this is something that could be very well juicy. Now, it is a possibility that it comes all the way down because technically speaking, if it does break, it will be coming down to the $14 region. At which point then, imagine this, right? Imagine, now this is just hypothetical, right? But look what we have here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Look at that. That's a possibility, okay? But I wouldn't hold my breath on it. Definitely there is opportunity just from the simple narrative coming to you from Wall Street Journal, which this was published. When was this published exactly? April 5th. Very recent, I believe yesterday. So those are our 3 stocks that we're looking in. Happy days, happy trading, and good luck to you all.